Yeah, because I feel like people will definitely gonna have to.
That is truly the only weird thing that I'm
¿Ahora llegamos por sentada?
We've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'd like to recognize a few dignitaries with us. First, I would like to acknowledge our elected officials. If you serve our state in the judiciary, please stand and be recognized. If you serve our state in the assembly and a constitutional officer as an official of our state executive branch, and our otherwise elected board of people of the state of Tennessee, please stand and be recognized. I will just next ask all leaders of local, state, or national bar associations, including executive directors here with us today, to please stand to be recognized. Lastly, if you were a past president of the Tennessee Bar Association, please stand to be recognized. Now I'd like to recognize the head table, starting at my far right, to the left. Tennessee Supreme Court Justice Dwight Carwater. Tennessee Supreme Court Chief Justice Paul Curtin. TBA Vice President soon to be President-elect Charlotte Knight Griffin. The woman of the hour, Hannah Griffin. soon-to-be TBA Vice President John Farringer, our treasurer, Mary Beth Mack, the current YLD President, Sean Yellow, and TBA President-elect Judge Alex McKay. I want to thank our sponsors and exhibitors who have made this convention possible. First, a special thank you to TriStar Court Reporting for sponsoring today's luncheon. Join me in welcoming Sunit Shadir to the podium to say a few words about her company.
For those of you who know me, you know that I'm not kidding. My name is Shawn C, and I'm here with TriStar Court Reporting. Just a couple things about our company is we're a court reporting service as well as a videography service. We did also start to get into AI, so we also offer AI technician summaries, if that is something that you ever need. We do cover throughout the state of Tennessee, so if you or anybody that you know is ever looking for a court reporter here in the state, feel free to give them our company name. We're really easy to schedule with, and we're really good about last minute add-on depositions, whether it be depositions, hearings, or trials. We also have some good approval, so it's been a pleasure seeing every face here and really appreciate you. Thank you.
Our other members sponsors include Diamond presenting sponsor, my firm David Donaldson, Platinum sponsor, Tri-State Court Reporting, Silver sponsor, Bookkeeping and Virtually LLC, Jams and Miles Mediation and Arbitration. Our bronze sponsors, Consultants, SoFi, TBA Member Insurance Solutions, the Bar Plan, Conference sponsors, AI Protect USA, Conservatorship Association of Tennessee, Blackwell LLC, Iconic Graphics, IT Solutions, Alexis Nexus, Richard Spoke and Richard Sheesko, Scipio Technology, Timeliner, and Felix Plastics. And then our event partners include Covert Results Investigation and Security, and the Tennessee Lawyers Assistance Program. We have had this wonderful convention for your generosity. Thank you all for your support. With all of our sponsors, please stand and be recognized. Time to introduce the final winners of our executive task force. We've been giving away a lot of gifts during this time, and we have some exciting gifts. So the first winner will receive a custom, in this case, ladies' blazer from Richard Sheesko. The second winner will receive a free registration to the 2026 TBA Convention in Knoxville. The winner can claim the prize at the registration desk immediately following the conclusion of the luncheon. And our winner of the custom sports coat blazer in Tuesday Rock is Sean Williams. And free registration for the 2026 convention is Amber Morris. I'd like to thank this opportunity to recognize the current Board of Governors members who have worked diligently and very hard, as we will talk about later this year. We have a number of our members of the Board of Governors who are leaving the board today, and I'm going to ask Vice President Griffin to assist me in recognizing them for their service. as they come forward. So if you could join Charlotte over to the right, to pick up the recording desk and that TBA. Brittany Thomas Faye, Judge Ross Parks, Judge David Beagle, Angela Williams, and of course, last but not least, our immediate past president, Jim Berry. Jim has also ended his term of service as chair of the Tennessee Davis Community Foundation. He has served in the TBA leadership for a number of years. Personally, I'd like to thank him for his friendship and his service to the board of governors. Let's get into a big round of applause. Board of Governors members for your Tennessee Bar Association, please stand and be recognized. I am truly in awe of the service provided to you by the leaders of your Tennessee Bar Association. They work each and every year to produce timely programs, informative publications, as well as important policy and legislative initiatives. I first like to recognize the House of Delegates. As most of you know, the House of Delegates debates and provides policy recommendations. They talk about the problems associated with the policy recommendations before they come to us. They provide a valuable service to us because they tend to be some of our smaller communities, rural communities, and they provide an insight that may not always be apparent on the board of governors. I'd also like to recognize Speaker of the House and new lady there, Deputy Speaker and my former classmate, Deb House, Secretary Steve Honor.
Yes,
Now I'd like to recognize those who serve in leadership roles and all the other members of the Young Warriors Division. Please stand and you may be recognized. One of the best ways to get involved in the Georgia Tennessee Bar Association is to join one of our 33 sections. And more one of our 14 committees. The love of the day for our section and committee chairs and managers to produce the programs that we do without their service. If you serve as a member of or in leadership of one of our sections or committees, please stand so we may recognize. Lastly, our Tennessee Bar Association editorial board was still with me. We were talking this morning about when I get the Tennessee Bar room. Somebody said, I said, the first thing that I read is your columns, and I know I need to read. So what I read are in order: passages, discipline, and then what's out. So I'd like to acknowledge the work of your Tennessee Bar Association Journal and the Board of Governors. Thank you for your time, diligence, commitment to ensuring that the TBA produces very high quality journal. I'd like to ask all members of the editorial board to please stand so we can recognize. I would also like to take a moment to recognize the fabulous TBA staff. And I'm going to call out their names and ask those who are here to stand so that they be recognized and please hold your applause to the end. Karen Belcher, Executive Assistant and Event Coordinator. Chelsea Bennett, Senior Education and Professional Development Coordinator. The great Manny Brown, Assistant Executive Director. The memorable Derek Dishner, Director of Finance and Accounting. Hank Elliott, AD and Webcast Coordinator. Stacy Schrader Jocelyn, advertising media content coordinator. Laura Ladenburg, YLD, and Law Student Development Coordinator. Brooke Layton, Education and Professional Development Coordinator. Linda Murphy, Receptionist and Membership Coordinator. Jamie Rose, Education and Professional Development Coordinator. Jennifer Robinson, Technical Systems Administrator. Deepa Brady Thomas, Director of Membership. Asia Thornton, Communications Coordinator. Liz Slagle-Fedaro, the Director of our Access to Justice and Special Projects, who make sure that we focus on access to justice on a daily basis. Tanya Cruzis, HR and Administrative Coordinator. Jennifer Bosler, Director of Education and Professional Development. Julia Wilburn, Editor of Your Tennessee Bar Journal. Sherry Ward, Senior Education and Professional Development Coordinator, and last but not least, Sheree Wright, the Executive Director of Your Tennessee Bar Association. Now, obviously, we have some important business to deal with, so I now declare the annual meeting of Your Tennessee Bar Association open. We will now have the reading of the minutes of the prior meeting.
Mr. President, may I make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, go to the House. Mary Beth Maddox, our great treasurer, is recognized for the treasurer's report.
Good afternoon, I'm Mary Beth Maddox, I'm from Rockville, and I'm honored to serve as the treasurer of this association for the last 2 years. I'm also honored to be charged with keeping the funds that we trust us in good stead and see that they are physically sound. I want everyone to be aware that we are in excellent financial standing once again this year. We owe that fact to our leadership, especially our staff, and especially our director of finance. Thank you, Gary. You are always welcome to come to me or if you want to forward questions, and we just thank you for supporting Tennessee Bar.
Thank you, Mary Beth. As you all know, the YLD is really the service arm of the Your Tennessee Bar Association. I have the privilege and honor bringing YLD President-elect Judge Thomas McVeigh to discuss the YLD and radio recap.
Next, I'm going to be brief. My name is Judge Alfred McVeigh. I'm Circuit Judge in Hamilton County. It's an honor to be here. I believe I'm going to be probably the oldest YLD president here this coming year. But it's actually my honor here today to recognize the leadership of a couple of people. First, I will be remiss. None of us would be able to accomplish what we're going to hear, and all of you accomplishes without the lady standing right there in the middle, holding that camera along later. It's fitting that we get to recognize our outgoing president, the Williamson County native here in King's Turf. But Sean Aiello has led this division this past year in a exemplary manner. He has been along the ride with me in my 12 years on the board for most of them. So I'm losing one of my elder statesmen but he'll be around next year as past president. But he really focused this year on leadership, on increasing our leadership, growing the opportunities that we present to the membership, as well as continuing to position the Young Lawyers Division as the public service arm of the bar. So thanks to leaders like Sean, everyone can rest easy. We're going to keep making you guys look good, and we're going to keep providing pro bono services to folks across the state, and keep doing the things that folks can be proud of Tennessee Bar Association for doing. So it really is my honor to present this plaque and this memento to our outgoing president, Sean.
stated, the YLD has had a very impactful year. It's really a credit to the board who certifies the public service arm here in Linfield. And along with special thanks to Laura, special thanks to the library for their support, and our fellow this year, the young honorable Lee Sark, and so as my brothers. So thank you. In our year focus on increasing membership and reaching out to traditionally underrepresented communities and the relatability of our boards to young lawyers as a whole. We have done, I believe, both the YLD and greater TBA prior this past year. Over this year, we held dozens of legal clinics, including child support, general civil expungement, central value for civil and numerous other clinics across the state, providing thousands in pro bono legal services to underrepresented communities and those that serve us, either through law enforcement or other service-oriented organizations. We hosted and presented monthly CLEs on a variety of topics, including the well-received and attended rookie series into the second year this past year, and initiated a brand new exploration CLE that has taken our members to take part in hikes, presentations, and prepare for our wellness initiatives to be done throughout this past year. We have facilitated and created this past year multiple publications. It's been honored to see not only for law schools and other organizations across the state for innovation. And for the first time, we have created and facilitated a rural judicial internship program, which is in its infancy this year, receiving 6 law students across the state, placing them with real benefits. And we're excited about this opportunity to continue over the next 4 years as well. And then finally, our major project, the mock trial competition we host every year. This past year, we had 121 teams compete, 112 teams compete, and expanded in areas of rural communities that did not initially have teams participate. Out of the 112 teams, we have had one team that is risen to the top. That would be NBA, who we are also on today. They not only won the district, they won state, they went to nationals, competed against 48 other teams, and won. But not only did they win the nationals, they won a battle of 9-2. So they're the unconquered champions, not only in the state of Tennessee, but our nation. So it is with great honor, on behalf of the Tennessee Bar Association and the Lawyers Division, that we welcome NBA and STEM members with special recognition to its coaches, Ray Connor, and Mary Taylor Smith, if you please come up and accept the award on behalf.
Thank you so much. I just want to make a few brief remarks. I know you all didn't know this until I have said for decades, I've coached knockout for 41 years, and I've said for almost all of those years, knockout is the single most important extracurricular activity a high school student can become involved in. And Tennessee over the years has developed one of the most outstanding knockout programs in the country. 8 out of the last 9 years, top 10 finishes in the national championship, including 2 national championships. And so I would like to thank the leadership of the Tennessee Bar Association and the Lawyers Division for their support and sponsorship of the mock trial program over all these years. I'd like to thank the leadership and staff of the Tennessee Bar Association for their leadership and support of this outstanding program. I'd like to thank the justices of the state Supreme Court for all that they do to support the mock trial program. You all may not know that Justice Harlow was the coach of the very first state champion mock trial team in 1980. I see former Justice Dennis Holder at a table here. Justice Holder, I'd like you to know that in a beautiful bit of symmetry, Justice Holder presided over the national championship round in 1997 here in Nashville. And the team that won, the coach of the team that won the championship that Justice Holder presided over was the host director of this year's national championship in Phoenix, and presented our team with the national championship trophy. So that was a nice little bit of symmetry. And I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage and urge all of you here to give some thought to participating in the mock trial program. We would not have a mock trial program unless lawyers volunteer their time to coach high school teams or to participate as judges and scoring judges. And while with that mention, I'd like to thank all of the sitting trial judges here to take time out of their busy schedules to preside over mock trial rounds. But I would urge all of you to consider either coaching or preparing for competition rounds and sitting as presiding or scoring judges. We would not have a mock trial program without lawyers volunteering their time to judge and score the mock trial rounds. It's been my great privilege over the years to have coached many outstanding students, including this young gentleman to my left, John Farrington, who was a member of the 1995 state champion team. It is a truly outstanding program that does so much good for so many young students who acquire and learn skills that will carry them throughout their career regardless of what they do. So again, thank you all very much. Thanks to the TBA Library and the TBA.
I have the privilege of introducing a series of awards honoring individuals who have made to this past year. When your name is called, please make your way to the awards table to my right or left and receive your award from TBA Vice President, soon to be President-elect Cheryl Griffin. The Justice Joe W. Henry Award for Outstanding Legal Writing was established in 1981. It is given every year to a lawyer who writes the most outstanding article that is published in the Tennessee Bar Journal during the preceding year. The Joe Henry Award is always chosen by a committee who led to the staff and editorial over the term. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, deans of some of the state's law schools on a rotating basis, the president of your Tennessee Bar Association. So this year's judges were Chief Justice Paul Purdy, Belmont University Law School Dean Alberto Gonzalez, National School of Law Dean Bill Cope, Vanderbilt University School of Law Dean Scott Freed. The winning article was chosen from all articles, and there were a bunch of really great articles published in your journal this year. Along with the honor of receiving the Joe Henry Award, the author will receive a check from $100. The winning article is "It Is So Ordered, a Primer of Tennessee's Final Justice School," written by Laura Tidwell from Nashville. The article, published in the March-April 2024 journal, explains the high number of civil appeals are dismissed because an appeal as a driver is not permissible due to the lack of a final order and final judgment. While some dismissed appeals involve pro se litigants, many actually involve litigants who were represented by counsel. In some cases, certain claims were remain unresolved in the problem, and that prevented an appeal as a right that could be taken because of the lack of a final judgment. And others, the assertion of an exception to the final judgment rules is necessary. So, interestingly enough, if you watched the program yesterday, we saw the coup, and Chief Justice Henry was involved in that. He came all the way up after having recovering from congestive heart failure to swear in the governor-elect Lamar Montana. And more interestingly, Laura's father, who was here today, presented to the bar, and he already cases in front of Justice Center and remembers him well. Laura is a legal consultant with the University of Tennessee Municipal Technology Advisory Service, which serves cities and towns in Middle Tennessee. Prior to joining UT last fall, she served as the office of the Tennessee Attorney General and reporter in the Solicitor General's office. Over the course of nearly 25 years in the AG's office, Laura represented the state as well as individual state employees in a multitude of complex state and federal elections, and authored more than 100 Tennessee Attorney General cases. Laura, please come to the front and receive the order to recommend. I am pleased to now announce the recipient of the Claudia Jack Award. The award is named after late Claudia Jack, a longtime public defender who was champion of the poor and underprivileged. And if you knew Claudia, she was just a wonderful woman. The award is presented annually to an outstanding public defender or court-appointed private practitioner who has served the legal community and their clients in an exemplary fashion. This year's award recipient was selected by a committee consisting of the Vice President of the Tennessee Bar Association, Chair of the Access to Justice Committee, Chair of the Criminal Law Section, Speaker of the House of Delegates, and Chair of the Juvenile and Children's Law Service. The recipient of the 2025 Claudia Jack Award is Dominika Shabazz. Please come forward to receive the award. Where he represents clients charged with white collar and violent crimes. His appointment to the post in March was historic, making him the first black person in the whole position. Good things that were said about him were included: I witnessed firsthand how Dominika combines legal brilliance with genuine compassion for clients and colleagues alike. The next award is the fourth state award, and it is to honor courageous reporting on justice and law by a Tennessee-based journalist. And this year's recipient has shown that courage in the reporting this year. I'm pleased to present this year's fourth state award to the National Banner. Throughout 2024, the National Banner published a series of stories designed to bring transparency and accountability to the Davidson County Criminal Court. Among the issues covered was the court's decision to remove computers that previously had provided public access to court records and subsequent changes in the process of how to access these records. Congratulations. Steve Cavendish is here to accept on behalf of the National Banner. Steve, please come forward and receive your award. The next award is the TBA YLG Lease Award. The TBA YLG Fellows Lease Award will be presented by former TBA President Michelle Greenway-Snell.
I'm not sure of that. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a true privilege and honor to stand before you today as we gather to recognize excellence, commitment, and leadership within our legal community. As president of the TBA YLG Fellows, I have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting the YLG Fellows William M. Leach Jr. Award today.
General William M. Leach Jr. was a remarkable jurist, known not only for his brilliance in the courtroom and on the bench, but also for his integrity, professionalism, humility, kindness, and deep commitment to young lawyers. This award is our highest recognition, reserved for an individual who has made outstanding contributions to the practice of law, to the public, to the administration of justice, and to the development of the next generation of attorneys. This award recognizes someone who exemplifies what it means to lead with integrity, humility, and service to both the legal profession and the community. Today, it is with deep admiration and heartfelt appreciation that we recognize Judge David Beal as the 2025 recipient of the Leach Award. Judge Beal's service to the Tennessee Bar Association and the broader legal community spans nearly 2 decades and reflects a career built not only on professional service and professional excellence, but also on a deep personal integrity and a true commitment to service. His journey with the TBA began in 2006 when he was first elected to serve on the Wild Legal Board. From there, he held nearly every role imaginable: district representative, chair of the Wills for Heroes Committee, vice president, and ultimately president of the Wild League from 2012 to 2013. His leadership helped shape the Wild League into the strong and inclusive organization it is today. But Judge Beal's service didn't end with his Wild League presidency. He continued his deep involvement in the TBA, serving as both a district governor and a grand division governor on the TBA Board of Governors from 2013 all the way through 2025. During that time, he chaired the membership and operations committees, helping to strengthen our organization from within. He also chaired the TBA's criminal justice section and was a proud member of the TBA Leadership World Class of 2012. In recognition of his contributions, he was named a Wild League Fellow in 2014. His commitment to the legal profession doesn't stop at the TBA. Judge Beal was appointed by the Tennessee Supreme Court to serve on the Tennessee Commission on Continuing Legal Education from 2019 to 2024, chairing the commission for 2 terms. He has been an active and respected member of the Williamson County Bar Association, where he served as president from 2019 to 2020. Nationally, he's left his mark through the American Bar Association, serving in the Tort, Trial, and Insurance Practice Leadership Academy, and being named an American Bar Foundation Fellow in 2013. And while his professional accolades are many, what truly sets Judge Beal apart is his quiet, consistent leadership and his commitment to mentoring young lawyers. Many of us in this room have benefited directly from his encouragement, his wisdom, and his belief in our potential. He lifts others up without seeking credit, leads with empathy and strength, and reminds us all that service is the heart of our organization. Beyond the courtroom and bar associations, Judge Beal's service extends into his community throughout his leadership roles with the National Youth Hockey League, Habitat for Humanity, and the 21st District Recovery Court. His dedication to justice and service doesn't end when he takes off the road. It's a part of who he is. Judge Beal, your career has been one of sustained excellence, tireless service, and true mentorship. You have shaped the future of our profession, not just through the cases you've handled or the positions you've held, but through the people you've inspired. On behalf of the Tennessee Bar Association and Lawyers Division Fellows, it is my distinct honor to present you, my friend, with the 2025 William M. Leach Jr. Award. Congratulations.
As Brad said the other night, I can't keep talking on the have to keep talking publicly here on these. I want to thank you for the privilege and honor of serving as president of your association. The support that I appreciate. I want to thank members of my law firm, David Robinson, for being here. I want to thank my family and friends for being here. Yeah, love you, man. Thanks for being here. Last year, I told you I intended to be a very boring president. I know that surprised you, you know me, but events happened that made that a little bit impossible. We had an interesting year. Some of you don't know that I worked on a farm in Crossville, Tennessee, and we had 2,000 pigs, 500 cattle, and my dad worked me to death. And we would be in the middle of those 2,000 pigs, and I'd be shoveling stuff, similar to what I'm shoveling now as a lawyer. And he would have gotten the biggest kick out of the fact that another lawyer from a small town called me an ivory tower lawyer. So I need to be an ivory tower lawyer. Your TBA, it's been a good year, by the way. It's been a good year. Your TBA Board of Governors has accomplished much. We were getting toward the end of our lease, and we knew we needed to start looking at that. So we formed a building committee to take a look at the future needs of our building plant. We looked at lease and purchase options. I was originally skeptical of the purchase option. If those of you who remember the prior building downtown, I think affectionately we can call it a money pit. It was way too much space. It was poorly located. But when we sold it, we made quite a bit of money. So when we had an opportunity to look at some purchase options, we found a couple that really met our needs. And so we bought the place on Poston for a lot of reasons, mainly because we were able to take the proceeds from the building downtown, use part of that to buy the building on Poston, which provides us enough space that we can do everything we need to do without too much extra space. And we were able to bank for less to provide a surplus to the organization going forward. The committee began meeting in early 2024. After an RFP, we engaged our brokers, TBA member Ben Burns and his partner Joe Yeller, and Davidson Young. And I would like to give the first President's Award and give it over there to the right, to get your award, and hold your applause with us along with the people. The members of the committee included Heidi Marcus, Jim Berry, Mary Jones Smith, Sherry Edwards, Charlotte May Griffin, so Charlotte, you have to give yourself the award. Courtney Hollins, Jason Tannick, Michelle Greenway Suthers, Sarah Shepard, and me. So if you're present here, please go over there, get your award, and have your picture taken. You all earned it. And yes, sir, you have to stay in front of them. So I promised you last year that we would continue to work on our last recovery. We need to all be more involved in the legislature, and the only way to do that is to make sure that we educate our members on the need to get more involved. I also told you we would continue to work with the leadership of your Tennessee Supreme Court to try to provide more money for indigent money representation. We have a problem that most of our members do not know about, and many still don't know about, that we have legal justice in the state where people that left counties because they were appointed over and over and over by the judges in those counties and could not maintain the law practice with those appointments. We also realized that trying to get $10 more an hour was not the best way to go forward, and it's frankly not going to happen with the legislature. So Last year, under the leadership of Chief Justice Holly Kirby, we were able to work together to get $8.6 million in additional funding to raise the hourly rate from $50 an hour to $60 an hour. And I want to thank Chief Justice Kirby for her leadership in so many areas. But then this year, again, in the leadership of the court, we developed an entirely different plan that is going to revolutionize digital funding representation. The biggest feedback we got was, it's not a perfect plan. And I would tell people, never let perfection be the enemy of the good. Are we done? No. Is this step in the right direction? Yes. And so, working under the leadership of the court and the Chief Justice, we were able to obtain an additional $17 million in indigent funding representation that will go out of programs and look at indigent representation in an entirely different way. So I'm going to get out a lot of the words for this because it was really a team effort. And unfortunately, Team Justice Phillips could not be here today, but I am giving him a President's Award for chairing the Indigent Funding Task Force, which issued a report back in 2017 that discussed the needs of indigent representation. And I'll get back to Bill later over the glass of whiskey. We could not have gotten this done without help from the executive branch. And I want to thank Randy Gibson and Eric Merritt for their hard work. As you know, Randy Gibson is the Chief Operating Officer in Governor Billy's office, and Aaron Merritt is his Chief Legal Counsel, for their support and their help in getting this across the line. An initiative as big and bold as this does not happen without the complete support of the governor. Brandon and Aaron were instrumental in this regard. They understood the problem, embraced the proposed solution, was critical behind the scenes with support and strategic guidance. TBA is grateful for their partnership on so many issues, including this one. They are truly a credit to our profession. Congratulations, and please come forward to receive your award. I would like to present the next awards to Michelle Long, the Director of the Administrative Office of the Courts, and to Joe Bird, Lead Attorney in Youth Services Team, Tennessee Supreme Court Administrative Office of the Court. They both worked tirelessly in developing this plan and providing strategies to get this forward. And frankly, both of them spoke so many ways to so many people, especially Joe. We really appreciate their collaboration with TBA and the community for a better system. Hey, Joe, did you shake? So we are truly blessed with a great governmental affairs group, and with them and with other members of your board, we formed the Indigent Funding Task Force, made up of D. John Behringer, Ashley Harbin, Brad Lampley, Purpose Schwartz, and Sheree Wright. So the next award goes to the members of that TBA Indigent Task Force that have worked together the last 2 years to make the improved plan for indigent representation a reality. Congratulations, and please come forward for time over there to receive your award. So my final award for indigent funding representation goes to our Chief Justice. even though she did kick my ass last year in jail. In all seriousness, under her leadership, none of this would be possible. Last year, she showed incredible leadership in pushing hard to get $8.6 million in additional funding. This year, through her leadership and through her efforts, she has worked tirelessly to make this $17 million happen. Her leadership and commitment to the development of the exit funding representation plan will provide a better solution to improve the system of indigent representation in Tennessee. Congratulations, and please join me in the podium to receive your award, and I ask that you provide a few words.
Okay, well, other people didn't notice it was going to be an award. I didn't. Any notice? I do have remarks though, but it's for another purpose. I called President Lampus after the last legislative session, after there was approval for $17 million for our AOC's remarkable indigent plan. I told President Lampus that it did not seem adequate, just called him and said thank you. And I asked him to come to this conference to be able to thank the TBA properly. So that's actually why I'm here. I do feel like there has been remarkable progress on the indigent representation front. And that is because of a coalition of people who had the priorities of our citizens in mind. Citizens who simply can't afford legal representation. And this has not been a politically popular item. I have to say, before the previous legislative session, where we received $8.6 million, in talking to legislators, I kind of felt like the skunk at the picnic, that nobody wanted to pay lawyers more money. And a good number of legislators felt like, oh, they were just representing people who were guilty anyway. But in that effort, we were not able to get into the governor's budget at that point. But the TBA helped our AOC weigh in hard. They worked behind the scenes and they recruited lawyers who were known to legislators to come talk to them, to come testify before committees. At the same time, our very smart AOC government relations team aimed judges who were known to those legislators at the legislators to explain the problem. That $8 million was the first indigent funding since 2015, 16, was it, Justice Bivens, when they equalized in-court and out-court time to a whopping $50 an hour. So, but after that 2024 legislative session and the efforts partnering between the AOC and the TBA in that session, we ended up with something more valuable than the money. We ended up with legislators and, honestly, I think the governor's administration with a more in-depth understanding of the problem. And we also ended up with a challenge that turned out to be a great thing. between the legislators and the governor's administration. We got the message, we get it, we really do understand the problem. But you need to come back with something more innovative than paying lawyers more money per hour. Our AOC powered in. They took up that challenge. And they came up with a radical new proposal that scanned every indigent funding system in every other state, looked at all the best alternatives, and formulated one that was best for Tennessee. It was a commission that will hire lawyers and contract with lawyers to provide indigent representation and experiment with different kinds of contracts. I thought it was really radical and innovative. The AOC did a great job of carefully shepherding it through the governor's administration with the invaluable assistance of Aaron Merritt, who's still here, and Brandon Gibson. And we were blessed to have it included in the governor's amended budget. My personal thank you to Aaron Merritt and to Brandon Gibson for their, it never would have happened without you, and my thanks to you. When we started to meet with stakeholders to educate people about the new indigent plan and try to get support, first one we met with was TBA. AOC Director Michelle Long and I met with Ed Lindquist and Cherie Wright, and they listened politely and took it all in. They followed up with questions and then went back and caucused with folks on their end. And after a bit, they asked to meet with us again. And at the meeting, they told us, we're all in to support the AOC's indigent plan. I was thrilled, of course, but I have to say, I was not fully prepared for exactly what that meant. So as background, our AOC has just a super effective, I'll say lobbying, I'll say that without team. Director Long and Michelle Consigliere Young and Charlie Baldwin know how to work the system. And they know how to deploy judges and others to meet with legislators. We're the government, though. Our approach necessarily has to be low profile and behind the scenes. Our team is very effective, but they work more behind the scenes. Not so with TBA. When they said they were all in, that meant shouting it from the mountaintops. Brad Lampley and the whole team were meeting with folks about the indigent plan almost as much as we were. Cherie Wright and Director Long were on speed dial with one another. The indigent plan was blared daily from the TBA's powerful daily newsletter. And lawyers were given talking points and aimed at decision makers relentlessly. One of the days that I was at Cornell Hall meeting with legislators happened to be TBA's day on the Hill. And honestly, it was a fire hose about the indigent plan aimed at all of the legislators at once. So, TBA's big show approach dovetailed very well with the AOC's very effective behind-the-scenes approach. It was a force multiplier to help push the indigent plan over the dam and into the budget. So we all know the wonderful result that has come from that partnership. Total in under 2 years of more than $25 million in new indigent funding. That is amazing after the drought that we've had. I can't thank TBA enough for partnering with the judiciary on something so essential to our justice system. Much of TBA's programming for this conference has been on the history of lawyers in Tennessee. Tennessee's legal community has a rich history of strong action to support our justice system. In 2014, when 3 justices on the Tennessee Supreme Court were targeted in their election by powerful political forces, Tennessee's legal community stepped up to oppose the effort. That was politically risky, but Tennessee's lawyers knew it was the right thing to do. Shortly after that, Tennessee's lawyers stepped up to support a constitutional amendment to ensure that all appellate judges would be in retention elections, not in big money, high stakes, contested elections. That also was a political risk. But Tennessee's lawyers knew that the justice system needed them to act. Fast forward to today. Tennessee has continued, TBA has continued that rich history. Like the other causes, indigent representation, not politically popular. But honestly, if nothing had been done, our system was in danger of collapse. TBA recognized the danger and empowered them with us to save it. Our justice system faces big challenges now and will face even more in the future. We are proud and grateful to have you standing strong with us. To recognize TBA's terrific partnership, Mr. Landquist, would you come forward, please? I'm presenting TBA with the Chief Justice Partnership for Justice Award, recognizing the Tennessee Bar Association's outstanding partnership with the judiciary and the administrative office of the courts to transform Tennessee's system for the representation of indigent individuals.
So, and unfortunately now I get to deal with some blocking me back. So it's been a great fiscal year for me personally and for the bar as a whole. A restaurant that I did was named Top 30 restaurant by the New York Times. They got a James Beard nomination. My daughter and son-in-law are due in August. And I had the honor of serving as your Tennessee Bar Association president. The TBA has achieved so many things. We've provided services for our members at an all-time high. Our membership is increasing. We continue to provide more quality CLE. Our legislative affairs team is able to get many things done more than just indigent representation. The TBA with Cuba partly got sick. Otherwise, the TBA is healthy and continues to grow in programming numbers and earlier we got a healthy balance sheet. To continue to achieve these goals and others on behalf of our members, we need to make the voices of our members heard ever more by our legislature because there are fewer and fewer lawyers in the legislature. Therefore, we have to be more active. We need to make sure that our legislators know us and that they understand our needs. And they have to understand the importance of what we are putting forward, not just indigent representation. Also, the state of Tennessee is very big. It's very diverse. We have members on both sides of the aisle. We have to keep the mission of our organization in mind when we make decisions. By avoiding politics, we have been able to develop great relationships with our members, the court, and the legislature. According to our bylaws, the purpose of the association shall be to foster legal education, maintain the honor, dignity, and well-being of the members of the legal profession, enhance the performance of the legal profession, cultivate professional ethics and fellowship among its members, and promote responsible relationships between the legal profession and the public. We have a corporate and fiduciary obligation to stand within that purpose. This year, our board and the TBA have achieved and will continue to achieve so many great things to make sure that that purpose has been successful. Your TBA will continue to provide services to the members of our great organization to further the practice and profession of law, which is a sacred, and I repeat, sacred profession. I am most honored and humbled to serve as the president of the North Tennessee Bar Association. Thank you very much. I now have the privilege of introducing the next TBA president. I have enjoyed working with Heidi over these past several years. I've gotten to spend a lot of time with her, and I love both of them. Heidi is a shareholder in Knoxville office in Wisconsin. She represents physicians, healthcare providers, physician office practices, and facilities in complex litigation in state and federal court. She is a recognized specialist in medical professional liability, a distinction awarded by the American Board of Professional Liability Attorneys. She is also a member of the Tennessee Association of Professional Mediators and has been awarded the Spirit of Justice Award by ET Law and the Susan B. Anthony Award. Before joining Wisconsin, I served as general counsel at the University of Tennessee Medical Center. She earned her law degree from the University of Tennessee Law School in 1993, and later taught legal writing, pretrial litigation, and trial practice at the school. Her passion for teaching and mentoring continues today. I have been active in the TBA and ABA for a year. Serving most recently as president-elect of the North Tennessee Bar Association, she also served as the second district representative of the TBA Board of Governors and is member of the Law Office Technology and Management Practice Section and the Court and Insurance Practice Section of the American Bar Association. Her statewide contributions also include as a fellow of the Tennessee Bar Foundation and as a hearing committee member of the Tennessee Board of Professional Responsibility. On a national level, I have been active in the American Bar Association. She is a past chair of the Law Practice Division, former editor of the Law Practice Division magazine, current member of the Tech Show Board, and a member of the American Bar Foundation. Her service to the national legal community, Knoxville legal community, has included services as president of the Knoxville Bar, chair of the KBA Fellows, member of the Hamilton Burton American Support, and volunteer at the Community Mediation Center. Shortly, she will add the title of TBA President to her resume. Please join me in welcoming Heidi to the podium.
your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible that your brother Hans is taking. And you respond I do to each of the following questions. Do you, Heidi Marcus, affirm that you will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities incurred by you through your acceptance of the presidency of the Tennessee Bar Association?
I do.
Do you agree to make the welfare of the association and its members your primary professional consideration during your term of office?
I do.
Do you affirm that you will serve the organization faithfully and pursue its objectives and the embodiment of its precepts, and that you will attempt at all times to enhance the ideals of and respect for the legal profession in Tennessee, and that you will serve the association with dignity and honor during your term as president?
I do.
That you have affirmatively responded to each of the charges I have given to you. It is my pleasure, therefore, to declare that you are officially installed as the 145th president of the Tennessee Bar Association.
Thank you, Justice Tarwater. Thank you for your support and your continued support. And thank you so much for your service and friendship. I look forward to having you on the board as past president. I look forward to having you as chair of the TLCF. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to present you. Show our appreciation for your work. We have a very short video with highlights of Ed's year that we'd like to show you. greatest honors of my life. I can't believe I'm standing here, and I stand here with I'm awestruck by the fact that I'm here
A month ago, I was standing at the Tennessee Bar Association. There's a plaque in there with all the past presidents. And as I looked at those names, Howard Vogel, Dan Breen, Ham Reeves, Al Harvey, John Tarpley, Charles Swanson, Bill Holton, Marcy Eason, Buck Lewis, Gail Ashworth, Sam Elliott, Danny Van Horn, Jackie Dixon, Cynthia Wyrick, Jonathan Steen, Bill Harbison, Jason Long, Lucian Para, Jason Hanu, Sarah Shepard, Michelle Greenway Sellers, Tasha Blakeney, Jim Berry, his name wasn't there yet. I just stood there going, how is this possible that this is going to happen to me? And I can tell you how it's possible. It's possible because of the people at this table right here. I have here my brother, Hans, who is a lawyer, and my family, his wife, Carissa, my niece, Caitlin, my nephew, Jimmy, and Audrey, who are always there to support me. Also at this table is Jim Andrews and his wife, Roz. Jim Andrews got me through law school. I've always had a penchant for index cards. Studying for the bar, I had about 150 handwritten index cards. And Jim grabbed it out of my hand and threw them in the trash. And he came back with 10, and he said, "Know these 10 and you'll pass." He took every power not to go get those index cards out of that trash can. Wade Davies, my first law partner, we tried cases together in the UT Legal Clinic. Jim and Wade were both present at my graduation dinner in 1993, and have them here again is just really important. And then Jim London, you can't sit at this table unless your name's Jim. Jim London and his wife Grace, and Jim taught me everything I know about practicing law. So it's an honor to have you here, and I know it's because of you that this is happening. I feel like there's been a mistake, that I shouldn't be here, and the only other time I felt like this is when we went to get our bar exam results. And back in 1993, you couldn't go online and refresh. I can't even remember how we knew. I guess we had like an idea that it'd be up afternoon sometime, and then we played a game of phone tag about, was it up? Okay, it's up. But I was so devastated that I asked Jim Andrews to go into law school and look at the list and tell me if my name was there. And he said it was. I didn't believe it because I've worked with him all this time, so I went in just to double check, but my name was there. So I wake up in the middle of the night, I think it's still, I'm sort of have this dream. You think you didn't pass the bar, that means some kind of mistake. I still have that. And that's how I feel today. I'm sure I wake up in the night and think, maybe they don't really want me to be president. And I feel like the most unlikely president, and I'm just going to tell you a little background. This is why. I was born in Western New York, way out in the country. If you think of the most rural place in East Tennessee, that's where I came from. And hills, creeks, green. My brother says to me, I know why you're in Tennessee, because I see where we used to live in East Tennessee. And my father uprooted us and took us when I was in high school to Chicago, to the North Shore, where all the rich people in Chicago live, and dumped me in a high school with 4,000 students. There were more people in the halls of that high school than were in my hometown. And we went to the council on the first day of school. I had come from a K through 12, one building schoolhouse. And my dad went to enroll me. The people that were present at my TBA president's speech might remember this. And the counselor said, I think she would be qualified for our GED program. That would be a really good place for her. And to my father's credit, he said,
think she can catch up. Let's try her all day. So thank you to my father for standing up for me and getting me in the regular curriculum. Just about the time, and I never ever, as you can imagine, fit in at high school. Mostly I was terrified. About the time that I started getting my feet under me, my parents moved me again to Texas. And anyone here who has lived in Texas or is a Texan knows that that is one of the strangest places in the whole world. People drive around with license plates that say native Texas, just to remind you every day that you're not from around there. Now, Carissa and Caitlin and Jimmy will never have to experience this because you are native Texans. You can get the license plate. At my 30-year high school reunion, people turned around to me at about 3 a.m. and said, "Oh, I know who you are. You're the new girl." Well, I guess. I mean, so why am I telling all of you this? It's because I never felt at home until I passed the bar and I became a lawyer. And I remember distinctly Natasha's presidential speech in Memphis when she called all of us her wolf pack. And that is, thank you, Natasha, that is exactly how I feel. I sometimes talk about an old Rodney Atkins country song, "These Are My People." And you remember that song? I mean, we're not perfect, right? But these are our people. And we're all broken pieces of pottery. We're all in this together. And our bond is that we have a law degree. And the fact that you are my people, I am so thankful for. You know, the last couple of weeks, people have been asking me, "Why are you doing this?" And it started making me really nervous. I got to the point where I started saying, "I don't really know." But I do know. I want people to have the same family, the same fellowship, and the same collegiality that we have in this room. This year, I want to continue the good work we've done fostering engagement with other lawyers across the state. If you are active in the Tennessee Bar Association, and I know that you are, you would not be sitting through this award ceremony, please invite someone else to join the Tennessee Bar Association. Give them a job. Don't step down. We need all the experience in this room, but just scoot over a little bit and bring someone new into the organization. I'm going to do that, and I want you to do that too. The TBA is a place, and there is a place for every lawyer, regardless of who you voted for, regardless of what kind of practice you have, regardless of where you practice, whether it's a rural or a big city lawyer, regardless of who your parents were or how long you've been a lawyer. And, you know, Ed, as usual, I think it's happened all year, stole my speech, which is this part of it. The purpose of the Bar Association is to foster legal education, maintain the honor, dignity, and well-being of all lawyers, enhance the performance of the legal profession, cultivate professional ethics, cultivate fellowship, which I think we're getting A+ for the last couple of days, and promote the relationship between the bar and the public. As Ed said, these are our bylaws. This is our foundation. And every decision that the Board of Governors makes this year under my leadership will be governed by those bylaws, and we'll continue to go back to that. My passion in the law is technology and mentoring. Technology, as everybody knows, is changing our profession. I want to help bring more education to you. I know someone in this room that doesn't even have a computer. But the AI that's coming in and changing the way that we do our jobs, we're going to have to embrace that. Next year's convention will be focused on technology, and sneak peek, I've already talked to the makers of Trial Pad, and they've committed to come to the convention.
So we're gonna get everyone involved in technology. We're gonna focus on T-ball. I was a member of the 2005 T-ball class. That class was co-chaired by Gail Ashworth and Larry Wilkes. When I spoke to this year's class, and they're here, when I spoke to them at their opening retreat, Tanya Treese made me a bedazzled 2005 t-shirt, which I wear on a regular basis. Those were formative times for me, and that is the future for this bar association. Out of that class of 2025 came 4 bar presidents: Jason Long, Michelle Greenway Sellers, Tasha Blankney. 3 judges, 3 currently active members of the board: Matt Evans, Ben Jones, Chris Garner. The late Nick McCall was also in that class. The relationships that you are making in T-ball, the graduating class here today, they are going to be with you 20 years from now. When you look to who can help me, who should I nominate, it's going to come out of your T-ball class. For those in the audience, please support this program. If you're asked to speak at it, say yes. If you're asked to nominate somebody, say yes. If a lawyer in your firm says they can't be at work on Friday because they have to be in Columbia, say yes and help them get there. It is just an incredible program and vital for our future. My plans include engaging first-generation lawyers. You know why that's important to me. New graduates and lawyers at the twilight of their career. We need everybody. I have a special pet project I need some help with. I would like to help those who failed the bar exam the first time. The YLD has an incredible website, talks about Michelle Obama failing, Hillary Clinton failing, and they've gone on to have incredible careers, but it wasn't the end of the world. There are people that are having trouble picking themselves up and understanding this isn't the end of the world, it's just the beginning of your career. So if you fail the bar and would be willing to tell me so that I could confidentially connect you with someone who's struggling, please let me know. Or if you know somebody who would be willing to confidentially serve in that capacity, I really think we need to help these people. On to something lighter, big news. We're going to Morocco, February 9th through 16th, 2026. If you have trouble remembering that day, just think Valentine's Day, 2026, Morocco. And one final request. I know we're busy, we're all struggling, we're underwater, but stop for just a minute and ask how you can engage one person as an ambassador for the Tennessee Bar Association. What small thing can you do? And something that happened to me last week, just the tiniest little offhanded comment. One of my law partners walked by and said, "How you doing, sis?" I have never felt more a part of the team at my firm. I mean, how much time did that take? Who can you nominate for something? Who can you ask to lunch? Who can you assign to a committee? Who can you call and say, "How you doing?" We're celebrating today, but there's a lot of people that aren't celebrating today that need you. And the Bar Association is here for them. Thank you for this honor. Thank you to the staff. If you see any staff member on the way out, please thank them. It is inconceivable how many hours and how much stress it is to put this together. Every single person deserves a special thank you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you to the honor of my life, and I commit to do the best I can to fulfill this role.